Hey, so today's question comes from a brand new coach to Coach Accountable. Welcome to the community. Asking, is there any way to add an invoice to an agreement so that once the agreement is executed, the client is routed to an invoice to pay automatically? And the answer is yes. But first of all, I just want to say this is my first video in the new version 5. For any of you who signed up prior to August 1st, 2023, switch over to version 5. You will be so happy with the business center and all that stuff. And I'll do some additional videos on that stuff. But I'm excited about it. So anyway, back to the question. Yes. So what the feature in Coach Accountable that kind of loops stuff together to automate different pieces that should happen at the same time is called offerings. So in this case, like I've got my chat sign up, it's free. You sign up for an appointment with me. You have to fill out a couple questions, that kind of stuff. You can also have an invoice attached to that and agreements, which are the contracts and that kind of stuff. So typically in the order of an offering, you will have the client will, or the potential client will first pick, if they're doing an appointment, they'd pick out their appointment and then they'd fill out whatever worksheet that's like part of your intake questionnaire, and then they'll pay. And once they've finished all that, then they go to potentially to create their username and password. And at that point, the agreement is presented. But some coaches say, well, I don't want them to pay before they see the contract and sign it. So actually the way to do that is it's kind of a workaround. It's to rebuild your agreement as a worksheet. So you would do that in the library. So first build out your agreement as a worksheet, and then hook that worksheet in to your offering. So if I were to, let me just really quick create an agreement. Go to the library, new worksheet template, and I will call it client agreement, 6 months of coaching. I have all my stuff. I'll write whatever I write. And then I would maybe add in, you have to sign this, and then type your name. And of course, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but we're going to give them a text box. And actually, they have to answer this. Boom. Okay. And then they agree all your terms. They sign their thing, whatever. Then back over to offerings. And I'm in the business center, setup, offering config, new offering. So I'm going to call it 6 months of coaching. And I'll probably have them sign up for their first appointment while they're signing up. And so I would go through this here. And then I would say they're also going to fill out the agreement. And then I would put my price. And so basically, let's say this is $5,000. Oops. And I can say whether their card should be stored on file. If I'm kicking off an engagement, which is a series of invoices, maybe they're paying the first one now, I can do that as well. Anyway, I'll just kind of quickly go through this. And I now have a new offering. Let's take a look at what it looks like for the client. How do I do that? I have the 6 months of coaching, and I've got the share button here. And I'm going to just copy this to the clipboard and then paste it up in my browser. So here's what it looks like. Name, email, cell. I would have my terms. They would sign. I would call it write for them to sign. They have to type their name, your name, ha ha ha, funny. And then I do continue. They will be billed, and they can choose to remember, authorize payment, and then they're added into your system. They've signed your agreement as a worksheet, and they've paid, and then it's all happening. You can also start a bunch of other stuff automatically through offerings, including like a course, and they get your welcome packet and that kind of thing too, which is fun. But just to keep right to the question, how can I add an invoice to an agreement so that once the agreement is executed, then the client is routed to an invoice to pay? This is it, offerings, and you make your agreement into a worksheet. And one more note, just a reminder that this system can be a lot because it does a lot. If you would like to just have it done, that's what I'm here for. Go to AccountableHero.com and we can chat about how I can expertly take this setup stress off your mind so that you can just coach. Thank you so much for this question, and feel free to shoot over any other ones.